I love that. You guys got so quiet. Like, can you teach your kids that so that happens again? That is so awesome. I love it. Good evening. My name is Renee Coleman. I'm the principal here at Sun Prairie East High School. We had the lovely opportunity this morning to meet about 300 incoming Sun Prairie East students, and so that was very exciting for us. Also, we've been able to train our staff getting ready for the new school year. So if I get a little low, it's only because it's 7 o'clock, but I'm so excited to have you here, okay? So once again, welcome. All right, as I said, I'm Renee Coleman, and I'm going to have my two associate principals come up right now and introduce themselves. Our two deans are not here this evening. That would be Jim Ortel and Payne Kang, and also our program manager is Katie Freeman.
Hello, good evening. My name's Heidi Walter. I'm going into my 5th year at Sun Prairie High School. Go Cardinals. Welcome.
Hi, my name is Christy Mittling, the other associate principal, and this is my very first year at Sun Prairie East.
All right, so we wanted to also introduce our student support services area where it's our counselors, our social workers, our psychiatrists, psychologists who help us make sure that those students have a well-rounded experience. We were also able to add two new positions that would help us. One is college career life and readiness coach, and that was a lot to say. But that person is so crucial because it just makes sure that we have an extra hand to make sure we're giving opportunities for students and opening up doors and building partnerships and making sure that those students who are interested in going into various industries, that we form those partnerships and have that opportunity for them. Our EMLS coordinator is someone who runs the data for us so that we can make sure we're constantly having data of students in front of us, whether it's behavior, whether it's academics, whether it's attendance, where are they on track for graduation, what interventions do they have, so that person really helps complete our student services. As you can see, we have the 3 counselors broken down by last name if you're a scholar. And also we have our social worker. We have a new social worker who we're very excited about is Kaylin Andrews. Our school psychologist is Amy. And we also have a part-time, which is Maggie Esden. So if you look at, I'm not going to read your counselors because I know everyone has the last name, but those are your counselors up there, and feel free. Today was busy because they were helping us run the Keys to Success, which was where we have the 300 students, and this week they're going to be slightly busy with schedule changes and making sure that they have the proper classes in line for the first day. So we're asking for a little patience. I know a lot of you have expressed concerns, but if you can have a little patience and a little grace, we will get to your particular scholar and make sure that we get their schedules ready for the first day. All right, so then I also wanted to introduce our office staff. If you came in the door, my secretary, Andrea Major, was out there welcoming. So we do also have welcome desk by Shannon Gross. If you ever call into the main office, she's mostly going to answer the telephones and kind of get you directed. We do have a new attendance secretary, which is Christine Morris. So if you ever have to call your student out or you need to have any questions answered in regards to attendance, she's available. Also, we have Mrs. Gardner, who is our secretary to our deans and our associate principal, our financial secretary, where you would pay your fees, such as homecoming, prom, if we have any seniors or juniors out there. That's where you would contact the financial secretary. And then our student support service secretary, which is Karen Johnson. And our registrar, which is Lori Burns. So this year, our theme is Sun Prairie East High School is a community that will thrive. And we know that a lot of things have happened. We've had a couple of years of COVID and pandemic and coming back, and students had so many social emotional needs, learning was disrupted, and it just all of those things. So we know that that plays heavily on students' ability to really get their education and really have a rewarding learning experience. So we understand that. And so understanding that, we want to make sure we provide a culture of care. We really need to surround our students and really provide them with that support that we know that they need, not only academically, but socially, emotionally, and making sure that those components are taken care of. So Thrive for us means that we're going to provide them an opportunity to trust. Trust the adults in this building that we have their best interests in heart and in mind. Trust us that we know that we're going to provide a safe opportunity for learning. We also want to help. We all need some help. We all need to come into this new space. As you leave out of here for your tours, you're going to see it is beautiful. Outside of a little dust, and we're still cleaning, but it's beautiful, okay? And so we all know that we need help. We all need help. And so being able to build that environment, that culture of help, is what we're going to work on. We want to restore. So we know like last year we had a lot of difficult relationships that were formed and not formed. And so we want to restore relationships, not only between student to student, but student to staff, and also our staff to staff, okay? We want to inspire. As I said this morning to about 300 students, they inspire me every day to take my hour-long drive here. They inspire me. Their stories, their resilience, their hard work, their want to be the best person that they could be inspires me. So we want to continue to inspire each other and really learn how to inspire others in this journey that we'll have this year. We want to make sure they feel valued. We want to hear from our students. We want to let them know that they are an important part of this school and we could not have a school without them, and that they feel valued, that they feel welcome, and we want to hear from them if they're not. And then lastly, we want to empower. Empower everyone in this school, families, community, to be their best self and to come in this school environment and help us to make that happen. And empower you to volunteer, to show up, and to be engaged in your students' learning. Last year I said, and some parents took me at my word, if this was a kindergarten orientation, I would probably have to open up all the way out to the cafeteria because we know that our kindergartens need us. Well, your 9th grader, 10th grader, 11th grader, 12th grader needs you as well. You cannot take your foot off the brake. You got to put on the accelerator and say, look, I'm here at school. I'm still interested in your learning. I need to make sure that you're in class, that you're doing your assignments, that you're having your tests, and that you're doing the best. This is the time that I need you to still stay engaged. Yes, we want them to be young adults, but until they make that milestone happen, I need you to stay engaged. I need you to make sure that you are monitoring your young adult. All right, I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Walters. She's going to talk about our cares here.
So we utilize Positive Behavior Intervention System, or PBIS, which is our way to help support students with understanding expectations, teaching those expectations, helping to remind and have students understand what they need to do in each space in the building. So you'll see CARES, and this is something that is familiar to your freshmen. They use that same acronym at C Heights, so we wanted to bring that forward. So we're using CARES here, that we want to make sure we have a community, accountability, respect, empathy, and safety. And throughout our building, there will be cares for the specific areas. What does it look like and sound like to be cares at an athletic event, in a classroom, in the lunchroom, in bathrooms? And we will introduce those to your students throughout the first couple weeks of school during our SP 30. The one on the right is an example specific to personal devices, talking cell phones, right? Oh, Matt, can you refresh? I'm sorry. While he refreshes that, the one on the right was all settings, sorry. Cell phones, we know that our learners are connected, right? They're connected to each other, they're connected to you, and that cell phone is almost like something that they just have to constantly check and look at and want to do. And it is a distraction from engaging with their peers, collaborating with their peers, working with their teacher. And we want to make sure that all the lessons our teachers are designing, right, are well thought out and that students have opportunities to engage in those. So we're asking, right, that our students have their cell phones off and put away during learning. They carry backpacks with them here often, right? So inside of a backpack. There will be times teachers will say, this is a break, right? We have 86-minute periods here. So they'll say it's break time. If you need to check your device, do so. If you need to check in on what's happening, go ahead. But that device should not be on and out during learning. So we will take time throughout the first 3 weeks when they're in their SPE 30 to help students understand these expectations, see what those look like and sound like, and help give feedback for that. Speaking of SPE 30 and our schedule, we are on a block schedule, very similar to what your students experienced prior years. You'll notice that we have a first block. Everybody starts the same time for that. And then we have SPE 30, which is going to be on Mondays and Fridays, a homeroom dedicated spot for academic and career planning, where we will do some of our PBIS lessons, where we will have students build communities with each other. They will be with their 9th grade peers or 10th grade peers, 11th or 12th grade peers. Then everyone goes to block 2, and then the schedule kind of switches. So on the left, that's what the schedule would look like for your student if their 3rd hour is an early lunch. That means they go to lunch after 2nd hour and then go to 3rd hour. If your student has a schedule on the right that says split lunch for 3rd hour, that means they go to 3rd hour right after 2nd. Halfway through 3rd hour, they're going to go have lunch, and then they're going to come back to 3rd hour, and then everybody finishes the day in 4th block. Some of your students may have early lunch on an A day and split lunch on a B day. When you look at their schedule, that's how you'll determine that. And so we'll talk through a little bit about what the a day in the life of a student here looks like.
Okay. This is my first time using this clicker, so bear with me here a moment. Okay, so when students will arrive to school a few different ways. A parent or caregiver may drop them off. We have a circle lot near door 6 and 7, which is that first lot when you came in, if you came off of Grove Street, it's that first one, that first left is our circle for parent and caregiver drop-off. And then we also have buses. One thing to know if you're riding the bus, it's going to drop off about 8:25. School starts at 8:35, so those of you riding the bus will have to move quickly to 1st hour. There is bus tags. Maybe if you did registration today or tomorrow, you got the bus tag. Otherwise, you will get it in the first few days of school. We also, out of curiosity, raise your hand if you are in 9th grade. Okay, how many 10th graders? Do we have any students that are driving? Okay, so we do offer parking permits once you have a driver's license. So start of the day, our doors will open at 8:05, and students can hang out in the commons. We have breakfast available, and then our academic areas will open 8:20. Sometimes the student wants to check in with the teacher before school starts, and then school actually starts at 8:35. Attendance matters, right? It's shown that the more you attend school, the better you do in school. So You're allowed 10 days of excused absence. This is true and has been true in your Sun Prairie years. Here, that's 50 blocks. So because we have 4 regular blocks plus that SP 30 block, so we have 5 a day. So 10 times 5 is 50. So 50 blocks is 10 days of excused. After 10 days of excused, all non-medically documented absences will be marked unexcused. And what happens is after 5 days of unexcused, and that's when we begin having conversations around truancy. So making sure all medical appointments get a note, turn it in to our attendance secretary. Okay, how to read your schedule. Many of you are 9th graders, and so this actually has the times on it. Okay, and this is a student with a split lunch, actually, you'll see. So block 1, there's an A-day class and a B-day class. So on A days, from 8:35 to 10:01, those are the correct times, it says which class you have. Then advisory SP 30, which Ms. Walter just talked about, we'll talk a little bit more about, happens. You'll see how many minutes do you have for passing time? 7. So if you are going from one end of the building to the other end of the building, you have to move quickly. Then block 2, this student goes to block 3, then has lunch from 1 to 1:30, and then has block 4. Also has an activity is involved in football. So that's the A-day schedule. Every other day, we go A-day, B-day. So B-day, same thing, but you have those classes. Okay? This is a screenshot off of Infinite Campus of a student's schedule. And now I'll pass it back over to someone to talk about SP 30 and win time.
So understanding, like I said before, about culture of care and making sure students have an opportunity, we have 2 distinct times on Monday and Friday for students to meet with their advisor. That is what we're calling SP 30 time. This year, it is worth credit. So that's why I'm giving a lot of information out there, because before it was just a class and students was like, why should I go to SP 30? It's not worth any credit. Well, starting this year, it will be. And attendance is taken, and it is an opportunity for students to get almost a full credit if they take 0.25 every year at their senior year. It's almost like a give me credit, a whole credit they would have earned that will be applicable and applied to their graduation status. So SP 30 is also, as what Ms. Walter said and what Ms. Millen has alluded to, is that it is an ACP time, academic and career planning time, being able to look at your coursework and plan out the next 4 years of your career here at high school. And really line up your classes so that you're not taking classes that doesn't help you get to whatever your future goal is. Also, it's an opportunity to build communities. When you go around the tour, you're going to see our learning communities are like in a pod area, and that way they'll have opportunities to build community within that learning community. Also, we talk about school-wide PBIS. We are a PBIS school. We practice school-wide PBIS strategies, expectations, and we make sure that those things are implemented during SP 30 time. What I'm excited about is win time. Win time is a time for students to get what they need. It is not always academic. They need the other part of their affect addressed and activated. It's like, why are they excited about coming to school? So win time is also to provide enrichment, extension opportunities, other opportunities that students couldn't engage in during their busy schedules, that during win time they're allowed to go to and actually find some purpose of coming to school every day. Teachers are allowed to also have reteaching time and pull students in, and students can go to them, but we're really excited about win time, providing them with meditation, yoga, mindfulness, cards. People like cards. Teaches cooperation. Teaches take your turn. building community, right? So those are just some examples of what win time can look like. So lunch, probably the second most important part of the day, right? Breakfast is supposed to be the first one, lunch is the second one. We are a closed campus. That means that all students are required to eat lunch here in the school. There is no opportunity for you guys to go out. It's only 30 minutes, so it's not really any room in your schedule to have that happen. This year, we want to really stress and implement no food deliveries. Parents can drop off in the office, but we're not asking for you to call like Grubhub and get McDonald's delivered in front of our doors. Okay? Also, we have designated eating areas, which is our commons areas that what you just came into. We have also you can eat with your teacher, like make that arrangement. And also we have, when the weather is nice, we open up the courtyard. Right, dismissal is another biggie for us. Because we have so many students, we have to make sure that that is orderly and done in the most safe and proper fashion. Buses leave about 3:55, so when class is over at 3:45, if you're on a bus, you're going to have to hustle to get to your bus. We would hate for you to miss it because it leaves at 3:55. The door 16 is where you would find buses 501 to 508. It's okay, you can sure take a picture, thank you. And then door 8, 8 through 10 would be buses 509 to 515. So if you're really concerned about making sure you get to your bus, those are the 2 doors or 3 doors that you can access to make sure you get to the right bus. All right, so I'm not going to talk about parking lot safety unless you have a parent or caregiver who's picking you up. If you could really drive slow, not for your safety, but for our newly drivers who are parking, our juniors and seniors, and sometimes our sophomores who have licenses, it's for them. So you want to be really careful. You're not driving for yourself, you're driving for them. And then you want to watch out for them and walkers who are not paying any attention. Like they're on their phones, they've been off their phone all day, and they're just on their phone walking across the street. So we're asking for you to watch for the cars, not your car, our advantageous drivers, and then the walkers who are just so happy to be on their phone. Parents and caregivers, we ask for door 6, but a lot of you I know pick up at door 1, which is the main door here. And then some of you I know, you tell your kid to walk down the hill. That's probably the best. Walk down the hill, pick them up, head on out, right? After school activities. So we do have after school activities. We have after school tutoring for students and other opportunities as far as clubs and activities and sports that your scholar can get involved in. All right, so we're going to student life. Have Ms. Walters.
So Mr. Tell is our Dean of Students, and when you walk in the cafeteria, right to the right is our Dean of Athletics and Activities office. We are working on getting all of those activities updated on our website, and we'll do a fair to learn about those during lunch because we want you to be involved and engaged with your peers and your school community. So you'll find a lot more information about that as we get the year started and our new advisors start activating those clubs and having meetings. So look for that information. Safety. Safety is our number one important factor here at school. And this building is quite large, as you'll see when you walk through. 22 entry points or exit points in our building. It is essential that our students enter right after school starts through door 1 and check in our main office, right? If you are a visitor, it is essential that you enter door 1 and check in at our main office. We welcome visitors, we welcome students when they're coming to school, even if they sleep in and they need to come in a little late, but we need them to not knock on a door and ask a friend to prop it open for them or ask someone to let them in. We need all of that to go through our main entrance. That's for safety. We do want to make sure that if students hear something, that they say something. We are available here, administration, deans of students. There will be 3 youth advocates throughout the hallways. Please, if you hear something that's concerning, or there's something that's bothering you, or something that you feel should be reported, please come talk to us. That's what we're here for. We want to make sure that we are all staying safe and able to engage in our education. So you have gone through a day, right? And at the end of the day, you might be working on some schoolwork because you are trying, right, to learn. That's the number one thing that we want you to take out of your time here with us, is learning. So grading is something that is our way of reporting out how you are doing in your class. Are you proficient? Are you understanding the content? So we utilize a grading for learning system here. Grades are communicated in Infinite Campus. So parents, that's your one-stop shopping to find out how your student's doing. You'll want to look at their in-progress grade. We do like a semester grading system. So in Infinite Campus, you might have to click on Q2 to see that in-progress grade. You should see grades updated about every 2 weeks because feedback's really important for you and also for your student to know how they're doing and what they might need to seek more additional support around. You will see that our lowest grade scale is 50%. That is to eliminate the disproportionate impact mathematically of a 0. If we did 0 as a grading bottom, right, 60% of our grading system would be failing. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for helping students, right, achieve and see, like, I'm not there yet. What can I do and where can I get supports to improve? We also do not offer extra credit or finals. We want to see your learning throughout the whole semester, right? We don't need a high stakes, anxiety-inducing at the end of the semester experience. We want to make sure that you are learning as you go and that we're here to provide you those supports when you need them. So you will see in the grade books when you look at them, 90% summative. That means the end of learning, right? Students have demonstrated, they've gone through practice, they've had feedback from the teacher, and now they have demonstrated what they know, and 10% formative. That's the work that they're doing to help get there. So that's our grading system. You want to take college planning?
All right, so for many of you, college, if that's where you're thinking about after high school, might seem really far away. But 4 years goes really fast. And what ends up happening, one of the opportunities that we have up here is Wisconsin Education Fair. It'll happen at West High School on Friday, October 7th. It is an opportunity for you just to see what colleges are there, what questions should I ask, what actually makes the difference between one college or another, how would I even know if I could see myself at that place, okay? So very beginning stages. As you get farther into high school, like 11th grade especially, you're gonna really want to, we offer, right, every year, Wisconsin, okay, I was like double checking there, Wisconsin Education Fair every year. So there will be more opportunities in the future, but wanted you to know that it is something that happens. College night is really just for seniors. It's where families fill up FAFSA. So some tips for success as you start here in the first year of Sun Prairie East High School. Participate in a positive and productive manner. Advocate for yourself. Stay organized, like check your email and your Google Classroom regularly. Probably something you did at Chums as well. Time management, set aside specific time for studying every day. Get involved. We talked already about consider joining those clubs or athletics. We are here to support you. Not only the three of us, but every adult in this building is here to support you. Stay informed. Ways to stay informed. Infinite Campus. Parent caregivers as well as students. Great resource to see where your students doing, how are they doing, that in-progress grade check, their attendance is in there. So check regularly and just see. I'll be honest, as a parent, I kind of forget to do it. And then I'm like, oh wait, I haven't checked in a while. So it's a good thing just to keep up on. School website. We have a lot of information on our school website as well as ways to reach all of our staff. academic concerns. If you're feeling like, where do I go? Who do I talk to? First, start with your scholars teacher or their counselor, which remembers by alphabet. Attendance concerns would be our attendance secretary. Behavior concerns, if you didn't see it on that first slide, we will have these slides sent out to families. But we are divided by alphabet for behavior concerns as well. Additional dates to remember. So some things coming up. If you want to take a picture, feel free. We have a back to school event on September 13th. That is for our families to come and see what is happening at school. Our community open house, where we open our doors to see our new facilities to the entire community, is September 19th. And then IDs and school pictures. They are happening at registration today and tomorrow, but the makeup date is October 18th. And I'll call everybody up.
All right, so this is your opportunity to ask some questions. Ms. Midland referred to a list of people. If you look at that green sheet is a helpful tool if you want to know who to contact. Like, if I have a situation, who do I contact? That cheat sheet is most helpful. So I would suggest to put it on the fridge so that way you can refer to it when needed. Any questions? Yes, ma'am. All 4 years. That was a great question. Yes. Yeah, we're working those out because we have new learning spaces and rooms were taken out, so we had to remove them off our list, and we're working on that. So as we update that, then we'll make sure the schedules are updated. So I would tell every student I talked to today is to look on the first day of school. That schedule should be as complete as possible. Yes, or by Friday. Any other questions? All right, I know this is where, yes. I'm sorry. Yep, two. There is a form that should be when you email the counselor, the form comes back to make any schedule changes. No. Did he take a picture today? Yep, he can use that. The new ID helps him get into the games. They put a sticker on it very soon if you paid the activity fee. That's fine. Yep. Like, because we can give him the sticker to put on there.
You could always just pull up your Irving campus and show it, but if you come back tomorrow, we can give you.
Yep. No worries. Any other questions? I'm sorry. Yep.
There's no 7-minute window between block 2 and block 3. At all. There's no window between. When you look at the lunch, if they go to early lunch, that's right. So when it ends, when third block ends, they go right to lunch if they have early lunch, and that starts their split lunch. She has a split lunch. There's no, if you go back to the example you had, there's.
Can we?
It might, maybe it's not an infinite campus, correct, is what you're saying? Oh, yeah. It says 12-11 instead of 12-18.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
thank you. We'll get that updated as well.
Yep. Any other question? Thank you for that. Yes. Yes. Yep. 2 days of registration, today and tomorrow. I mean, today and tomorrow. Yes. Yes. It should be. Yes. We should have give a little patience, a little grace. Any other questions? Yes. Tonight is the time that you get to walk. Yes.
And part of that is because we have cleaning happening still, and so, Yep. So part of that, the reason we are having tours tonight is You will see a wonderful custodial staff out and about tonight too. But during the day, we just have professional development happening in multiple spaces throughout our building as we're bringing teachers back and today. And then also just wanting to keep the flow in the evenings so that we can get cleaning done during the day.
Are there any other questions? I want to get you out so that you can see our lovely learning spaces. We're here if you want to come up and just ask questions that you didn't want to ask in a bigger crowd. Once again, thank you for coming out and welcome to Sun Prairie East High School. Go Cardinals.